Hey, that's a study of flatulence.
How do you like to do how?
Okay, this is lesson number 1. You don't want to trap flatulence inside a car that's going to be out in the sun in the hot weather, because if you do, you get your flatulence in the car, you close the door, it's airtight, bam, it'll blow the windows out. So that's lesson number 1. When's the beat coming?
It did already.
Here's a news flash. This news just in. 2 leading scientists from Miami have just determined the real cause of the lack of hurricane activity in South Florida. For years, meteorologists have been puzzled as to why a major hurricane has not passed across the South Florida coast. Following the Mariel boat lift of 1980, those immigrants that colonized Miami and surrounding areas brought with them the Cuban tradition of eating frijoles negros, or black beans. The resulting release of flatulence caused a high pressure to form over the state and continues to steer hurricanes away from the area. This just in from the news desk. Thank you.
What are you doing, Brad? Okay, you got mine, right? Taking a shot?
Huh?
Taking a shot? Listen, on those forms, there's a bunch of places you can
That was a fine example of a bathroom fart. This is what most people should usually try and do, so as not to offend other people. You kindly walk down the hall, go into the bathroom, close the door, get rid of your flatulence, and all is well. Nobody is offended.
This last type of fart, we'll call it a public fart, is one that sometimes it's hard to overcome because there's so many people that are prejudiced against flatulence. The best thing to do would be take the example of the last example on the tape and to go ahead and go in the restroom or go outside and let it out. Because when you let them out inside, people tend to gag and guffaw about it and make fun of something that we all know is a necessary part of life. I don't know what it is.
Brent, who called Stephanie? She's out now.
You guys think that's a mirror?
Brent.
That's a prime example of guffaw. There's people going nuts. Now go nuts for us, girls.
Jeez.
Ready?
See, just don't strain yourself now, Barry.
Cut.
Here, help.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
We're ready.
That's it.
That's all?
Well, action.
This is what the cue card girl looks like. Actually, it's very nice.
Hold it up close.
Now we're getting ready to start. Farters Anonymous, an organization for those whose scores in the upper 80 percentile of the following questions. Here with us tonight is the president of Farters Anonymous, Mr. John D. Barrett. Thank you, Mr. Barrett, for visiting with us tonight. We appreciate you being here and hope that everything that you relay to these people will come to fruition.
We have speed.
Thank you, Norman. It's a pleasure to be here tonight.
Baby farts are not that good.
These are some questions that we ask that you respond to help us with our national survey. Please write down the answers to the following questionnaire and return it with your $20 membership fee for a fart sample to the following address. Farters Anonymous, 110 Pew Street. That's in Stinkville, New Jersey, 08000. Question 1. How often do you fart? The answers: once a day, once an hour, constantly, only when others are not present, only when others are present, or just in front of my mother-in-law. Question 2. We'd ask that you rate the average smell factor of your average fart. 1, it could kill a horse. 10, it would go unnoticed except by those within 3 feet. Question 3. Rate the average noise factor of your farts. 1, a deaf person would hear again. And 10, it would be missed by your mother-in-law. Question 4. Do you enjoy farting just for the sheer pleasure of it? A simple yes or no. Question 8. Does someone else's farts A, offend you, B, excite you, or C, make you want to fart too? Question 9. Do your friends and or relatives fart a lot? A, all the time, B, only after sex, and C, only after meals. Question 10. How long, in minutes please, was your longest fart ever? A, 1 minute, B, 5 minutes, C, 60 minutes, and D, it's still coming on. Question 5. Can you fake a fart at any time of the day or night? Again, a simple yes or no. Question 6. Have you ever farted with others in harmony or played a tune that was recognized by at least one other person? Again, a yes or no answer. Question 7. Have you ever farted in someone's face? A, on purpose, B, by mistake, or C, I wouldn't dream of it. We ask that you respond to these questions for our national survey. It would help us tremendously in our research in the future. And please capture a fart sample and send it with your answers to Farters Anonymous. Again, the address, 110 Pew Street. That's in Stinkville, New Jersey, 08000. And then, again, Norman, thank you for inviting me tonight. It's been a pleasure.
We thank you for being with us tonight too,
Thank you.
Mr. Barrett.
Yes.
But while you're here, we thought we would ask you a couple of questions about your club.
Go ahead.
We would like to know if first you have ever filled out this form and answered all of these questions. And if you have, what are some of the answers to some of the questions that we have? Could we take a few and use them as examples?
Well, Norman,
Go ahead, Mr.
Well,
Barrett.
Norman, quite a few years ago I was drawn into this club, which I was really interested in because, as you know, it's a really release of gas which we can use for our national energy. I was drawn into the club so much, I got so involved that I eventually have become president of the club, and there is a purpose for it.
Well, this is just the question that I would like to ask you about the purpose for this club, and also what first drew you into this club, to be a member of this club? Could you
Smell.
explain that to us?
Smell.
It was actually the smell of flatulence that made you want to join this club.
There are certain smells in flatulence that turn certain people on.
Do you mean be turned on to make you want to fart, or would that be to turn you on to have sex?
Both. It depends on the smell.
Oh, I see. Well, how often do you fart?
Well, it depends on my wife's cooking, obviously.
I mean, is it once a day?
No, there's
Constantly, or?
several times a day.
Oh.
And we found in our national surveys that this is true with just about everybody.
Do you ever do it in front of your mother-in-law?
Only if it's a silent one.
Oh, I see.
And then I turn to my wife and blame her usually.
Do you enjoy farting just for the sheer pleasure of it?
Of course, I think everybody does.
Is this especially true when it's in front of your mother-in-law?
It depends on the subject at hand when she's around.
I see. Can you fake a fart at any time of the day, or don't you ever need to fake a fart?
That's very difficult because you can, once you have a fine-tuned ear, we found in our organization that you can more or less distinguish from the fake farts and the original farts.
Well, what would you call this one?
That's the original fart, and I'll let you know in about 3 minutes on the smell factor.
Oh, thank you. If you could just give me a rating on that, I would enjoy being rated on that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, that would be around an average fart.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, here with us tonight is the president of Farters Anonymous, John Barrett. And folks, we hope you have enjoyed all of this.
Excuse
and
me,
don't
excuse me,
forget,
excuse
oh
me.
yeah, go ahead, Mr. Barrett.
Your present fart is longer than 3, a little bit shorter. I now have your rating on it. I can smell that now.
The rating factor for
Yes.
the smell is lower?
It's with us now.
Well, it was just a mild.
Your smell is with me now.
Okay. Well, please.
It has curled the hairs in my nose.
Oh.
So your rating has increased.
Okay. Well, please don't forget when you send in your sample and your 10 questions with the answers to Farters Anonymous, 110 Pew Street, Stinkyville, New Jersey, 08000. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you,
tonight,
Mr. Edwards.
And we'll see you at the Farters Anonymous convention, okay?
Thank you, thank you.
We'll be happy to see you there. Should I bring anything extra?
Just maybe a can of beans.
How about some avocados or pickled pig's
Or
feet?
your famous chili.
Oh, okay, I'll make some chili. Okay, folks, that's it for tonight. Thank you.
You're good.
Now, what
Good
is
night.
that, segment 1 or what?
The one that was like this.
That's about an average fart.
Do you think that's average?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it's about a 5. As far as smell factor is concerned here, I'll let you know in a few minutes.
Oh, I see. Then you have
Could
to
be
wait
sooner.
till later to
Could
to
be
rate
very
the
soon.
smell factor.
Depends on the gaseous makeup of your individual fart as far as it rises or lowers.
I have heard that at your club that you have a way that you really do chemically break down farts so that you can really rate them at a high degree of accuracy, so you can really make a high rating, and this rating scale is not just by the sound that somebody's lips make when they're quivering.
In a scientific atmosphere in our hometown Stinkville, New Jersey laboratory, we have the facilities capable of doing this. But when you're out and about, say at a social function or at church, weddings, things of this nature, there's no way of knowing the chemical makeup of your own particular flagellants.
Are you telling me that you guys haven't designed, or your designer hasn't designed a portable model yet?
We do have, much like a Geiger counter,
I
which
see.
the people out there are familiar with. It does take readings of the gaseous makeup, but it's not quite as accurate as in our own laboratory.
Is this battery operated, or do you need a plug-in?
Oh, yeah.
for it?
It's battery operated, and it has a sensor on one end, and on the other end it does have something shaped like a dildo, which the battery help.
I see. This would be useful, like if you were on an airlines flight and you had to do some some
High altitude
seismic
test?
measuring or high altitude tests.
Oh, yes, we've done that.
Didn't you guys also get one of the astronauts to secretly take one of these up with you one time?
Mr. Edwards, you said you weren't going to bring this up.
Well, you know, I just thought...
This is
people
top
might
secret
wanna know.
material. This is
Okay, I
done
won't
for
bring
the
it.
government.
I'm sorry. But some
We
people,
are under contract now.
some people wanted to know about flatulence in space.
Well, it's a very touchy subject when you start dealing with the government and flatulence in space, because it could be a very dangerous situation. I mean, the gases that you expand out are highly flammable, and you're within an environment that actually could be detrimental to the astronaut's health.
It's okay, Mr. Barrett. I won't let them out again. I mean, I won't bring it up again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait a minute.
He's got a beer there and a cup of coffee.
All right! Now that is an example of a good one.
That's the cameraman.
That's the cameraman,
I
by
wish
the
we had a
way.
gas mask. We'd both be doing the interview in a gas mask.
Sure. Wait, I've got to open the window. I've got to open the window. Wait a minute.
God has one.
He does?
Yeah. Where's his gas mask, honey?
Hang on, let me check it.
Starts from laughing.
Debbie.
Okay, it's perfect.
What is
Okay.
Okay, shh, quiet on the set.
You got just Norman?
Put
Both
your
of them.
fucking
Hold on.
hands down.
I want to get just Norman first. Hold on.
Right, because I'm going to introduce him, and then you're going to back off and get both of them.
Turn on the TV.
It's not hooked up.
Why not?
I don't know why not.
Turn on the TV.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah,
Are
okay.
you rolling? Okay.
I can't hook it up. Okay, roll it.
Tonight we have with us, fresh from an episode of Measuring Flatulence, I'll say, the president of Farters Anonymous, Mr. John D. Barrett. I welcome you here tonight, Mr. Barrett, and thanks for taking the time to spend with us tonight.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I think you can take that off now.
Oh, is it all right?
I think everything is clear in this room.
This?
Yeah, this is a safe room here.
Thank you.
Oh,
Does this apparatus have anything to do with the measurement or the level or the highness of how the flatulence
Yes, this was-
is measured?
this particular gas mask was developed particularly for Farters Anonymous. It's a M139-72
Can I see the
medium
apparatus?
adult gas mask, certainly.
Oh. Does this have anything that's like in it that could come out? Because I'm really not in the
No,
mood
this
right
is a
now.
special canister to filter all flatulence gases.
Oh, in other words, this doesn't trap them and measure them. In other words.
No, this is
Oh.
strictly a safety device which we are required by law to use.
Well, getting back to that other subject we were talking about, do the astronauts carry these?
That is a top secret project at the time. At this particular time, we're under development for that right now.
I see. But I would say that, even like if you were in an airplane or something, that this might be useful.
Oh, sure, in an airplane.
Do you think that the regulations
Any
are coming from the
post.
federal government soon, where like the life vest in all airplanes on all flights, that they will have one of these masks under the seat in case there's a giant release of flatulence by
We-
one of our members who has a buildup that he was saving like for the convention and that
We,
accidentally went off in the airplane?
We at Farters Anonymous think there is not enough regulation by the federal government and the FAA while in flight. If you realize, if you have 300 people in a flight and they release gas at the same time, not only the pilot, co-pilot, and the flight engineer, and the safety of the people would be in jeopardy, but also the people on the ground where the plane would crash. I mean, that's a lot of energy
Well,
released.
have you read what
in
it
an
says on
enclosed
this?
atmosphere.
Have you read what it says on it? It says this gas mask is for protection against flatulence in any atmosphere dispersed in the free air.
Sure. I think this particular model would go good in any commercial flight in the United States today.
Well, let's